there was an old episode of Punky Brewster where the entire point of the episode was when you go and play in a junkyard, don't get into a fridge. Like, because you might get locked in there forever. Yeah. Yep.
The guy on our show, Judge Rob, who comes on and sometimes talks about the pre-release and rules for shows. He tells the story of one time getting locked in one himself, and many near-death experiences.
He has so many near-death experiences, but in this case, it was when he was a kid, and it was like a big, enormous fridge that his family had that he got shut into.
Look, back in the 80s, we got warned about fridges, quicksand. And kidnapping. Like those were
absolutely.
Those are the three big threats in the 80s.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I do specifically appreciate that the moral of the episode was when you play in a junkyard, don't get into a fridge.
Exactly.
Don't play in a
junkyard. Yeah, no.
Junkyard.
Hey, when you're doing that,
it was the 80s.
The 80s was a different time.
They knew you were gonna play in a junkyard.
That's right.
Junkyard. So just while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Not the fridges.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, I really appreciate that since the 80s we've really cleaned up the quicksand problem.
Me too.
Like
we don't have to.
It's just
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it anymore. We cleared that stuff up.
Yep. We don't use septic tanks as often, so that really.
Is that what makes a quicksand?
Yeah.
It can, yes. So you can. So back in when septic tanks and in some rural areas and things like that, you have to know where the septic tank is because sometimes because they're just underground, they would leak and they would make the ground above them bussy. So you have to make sure that's not a good use of that word anyway.
Wow, interesting choice.
So yeah,
tell me more.
Yep. So if you walked over where a septic tank was, it is conceivable that you could fall into the ground, surrounded by what is in a septic tank that has been leaking out slowly. So you had to worry about that. I maybe that's not a universal experience or a thing a lot of people know about septic tanks.
At my house, and I never knew any of this, and so now I'm retroactively afraid.
Yeah.
Happy to be of service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But on the bright side, if you get sent back to the 80s, you know what to do.
Come back immediately.
Yeah. Leave.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Buy fully boxed original G1 Transformers, and then come back and sell them. Yeah.
Honestly,
but give me back an Optimus Prime.
That is the best possible investment strategy: is buying Transformers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Buy absolutely
while
not.
you're in the 80s.
Stock? That's suspicious. Vintage toys.
Toys.
Very normal.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can see where my priorities are. I've learned something about myself.
Yeah.